a ban on Microsoft Corporation's Windows 8 operating system on government computers. According to an online statement by the Central Government Procurement Center, all desktops, laptops, and tablet PCs purchased by central state organs must be installed with an OS other than Windows 8. The center did not provide detailed reasons for this ban. Beijing news, Beijing to host World Seed Congress. This year's World Seed Congress will be held at the Qinglong Lake International Cultural Center between the 24th and 28th of this month. The event, initiated by the International Seed Federation, is the largest annual gathering of its kind in the world. The ISF World Seed Congress 2014, with the theme of Little Seeds, Great Dreams, will carry out a number of activities, including trade forums, exhibitions, and various meetings. Beijing Times, Beijing intensifies security checks. Over 100 armed policemen have been deployed at checkpoints across the city to assist in the examination of vehicles coming into the capital. This will be ongoing 24/7 until the middle of next month, and will be deployment as part of the recent anti-terrorism campaign. In South China Metropolitan Daily, the headline is 6 arrested for beating journalists doing secret investigations. 6 suspects have been arrested for that beating. The journalist was doing investigations in a village in Wuhan province. The village head, suspected of corruption, held a grand birthday party for his 10-year-old son when the journalist was doing a secret investigation on him. According to his colleagues, the journalist was seriously hurt and sent to the hospital. China Daily, train malfunction kills engineer. Worker was killed and 3 others injured after a mechanical malfunction inside of a tunnel on the Shanghai-Tibet Railway on Tuesday. The malfunction caused the train to stop and release heavy black smoke, causing all 4 of the train's workers to choke and lose consciousness. A rescue team was sent by the company, but the train driver, Liu Zhengguang, died despite medical efforts. The others are in stable condition. In Shanghai Daily, free trade zone trials aimed at speeding up reforms. The Shanghai Free Trade Zone is experimenting with scores of trials to accelerate policy reforms. Many trials have been launched in the zone, with industry watchers calling them the most aggressive in more than a decade. Meantime, domestic and foreign banks have launched a yuan cross-border pooling solution for clients in the free trade zone. Coming up on 39 Fast, and it's time to go deeper into the papers. Alexander Okaz back in the studio. What you got?
Hello again. So first up from the Global Times, 3 volunteers walked out of an enclosed capsule, Lunar Palace 1, on Tuesday after a 105-day test, marking a breakthrough for China's manned test of bioregenerative, there we go, life support systems, or BLSS. The 300 cubic meter module set on the campus of Beihang University in Beijing is China's first and world's 3rd bioregenerative life support base. I'll get that word eventually. It is seen by scientists as the first step for China to enable astronauts to live for long periods in outer space without deliveries of supplies. Experts also believe that the successful manned test of Lunar Palace 1 could be applied to future space missions, including lunar-based buildings. Lunar Palace 1 now has a cabin and plant conservation lab that simulates the Earth's biosphere. The system can produce water and fertilizer, process waste, and revitalize air.
All those science words, right? They're difficult. But it's exciting stuff, though. I mean, this, of course, speaks to, like, long-term manned missions far away or permanent settlements on, the moon, for example. I mean, this is that kind of stuff we're working on now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, 105 days to test this thing out.
Yeah.
I hope, they had some kind of, compensation or something on their test, their volunteers, I'm not sure. It reminds me there was one in Russia when they had the mock Mars mission, and they spent 500 days in a tiny little capsule. I can't even imagine it.
Well, I hope you had Netflix or something, because that's a lot of time in that cramped little space.
Yeah.
I better watch some TV.
Yeah, you're either going to make friends or enemies in there.
Yeah.
Next up from Shanghai Daily, quickly, is police use WeChat to fight crime. Police in Chongqing and Mihang districts of Shanghai have turned to WeChat to help combat shoplifting. The officers swap pictures with shop owners, and this is related in crimes falling dramatically.
Well, that's obviously a great idea. I mean, similar things have been done back home in Vancouver, police using Twitter and such. I don't know if they've ever actually sent, photographs of suspects directly to shop owners, but I mean, what an ingenious way of tackling the problem. I mean, if the shop owner recognizes a person, they can stop the problem before it even begins, really.
Yeah, exactly. So it's very useful use of technology.
And 41 past, and we turn to today's special reports feature. New survey shows Shanghai's become the most popular destination for people to migrate to when looking for work. And CRO's Li Dong has more.
Zai is a young woman who decided to move to Shanghai after working for several years in Beijing.
最早来上海的时候，我曾经去办理过就是这个户口指路的这样一套手续嘛。When I first came to Shanghai, I needed to move my hukou into the city. I felt the staff at the public service counters were very professional and they treated me very nice. I felt respected while I was dealing with the whole process.
Like many other migrants drawn to the large cities, Zai says there are obvious advantages beyond jobs, including more social benefits, such as better healthcare, education, public facilities, and overall culture.
你能明显的感觉到，就是你所生活的这个社区，这个居委会会非常的热心，哪怕是你说 you feel that the community cares about your life. For instance, if you call them and tell them there is a hole in the road that needs to be fixed, you will see maintenance workers fix it the next day, or even the day you call them. Your problems are properly addressed. You can get a quick and positive response when you need help in Shanghai.
The new research by Value Line, a Shanghai-based financial magazine, suggests Shanghai has become the most popular destination for migration, recording a net inflow over 9.5 million people. Beijing ranks the second with 7.7 million migrants. And the southern city of Shenzhen ranks the third with a net inflow of around 7.5 million people. The explosive inflow of migrants has been generating concerns among many residents who worry about the impact the large inflow of people is having on resources such as land, the environment, water resources, and even social stability. Huang Yan, director of the Beijing Municipal Commission of Urban Planning, says populations in big cities need to be distributed to the surrounding areas.
其实最大的是控制功能，要疏解功能。The biggest task for us is municipal reallocation. Big inflows of people creates a lot of pressure on the city facilities and public services. Municipal governments need to reallocate the city's functions to the surrounding areas, while at the same time upgrading the quality of public services in the neighboring areas to provide better education and medical resources.
The National Bureau of Statistics estimates over half of this country's population now lives in cities. The figure is expected to hit 60% by 2020. For CRI, I'm Li Dong.
大家好，我是郑丽丽，您现在收听的是 The Beijing Hour，请多多支持我演的新京 S 3景入手未来，谢谢。
44 minutes past the hour and turning to sports, we begin with football. 5 matches are coming up this afternoon in the Chinese Super League. These are the final games for each respective team before the summer break. Starting 4:30 this afternoon, Chengqing Yatai, which is at risk of relegation, will be hosting Liaoning Hongwu. At 7 sharp, Tianjin Teda kicks off its match against Dalian Argon. 7:30, second place Beijing Guoan will be taking on Hangzhou Greentown at Workers Stadium. Around the same time, league leader Jinya goes up against Shanghai Shenzhen. And finally at 8, defending champions Guangzhou Evergrande will be meeting up with FA Cup holders Guizhou Renhe at the Tianhe Stadium. Guizhou stopped Guangzhou from clinching a domestic treble last season. So this rematch of last season's FA Cup final should be a rather interesting one to watch. Also in football, Real Madrid's announced their formidable strikers, Cristiano Ronaldo and Gareth Bale, will both be fit to play in Saturday's Champions League final against Atletico Madrid. Ronaldo missed Real's last 2 games. Bale settled a training session earlier. Real coach Carlo Ancelotti expressed his satisfaction with the Welshman, who had, up till next week, been the most expensive footballer in the world.
He has a really good impact on the team. Everyone is happy with him. I think he will do the same in the final. He is really excited to play this final because for him it's the first final in his career, and I'm sure that he is going to do a fantastic match.
Right now, however, defender Pepe and another key striker, Karim Benzema, remain doubtful for the final, and that's because both men have injuries. Madrid is bidding to win a 10th European Cup and to end a 12-year drought for the continent's top club prize. NBA playoff action. The Indiana Pacers are looking to extend their season conference final lead to 0 when they host Miami later this morning. Indiana enjoyed its highest point total of the postseason in the opening match, downing the Heat 107-96. The Pacers have won all 5 meetings with Miami this season, rather amazing feat in itself. The series travels to Miami for Game 3 on Sunday. Yesterday, the San Antonio Spurs took advantage of Serge Ibaka's absence and beat the Oklahoma City Thunder 122-105 in the opening match of the Western Conference Final. Badminton now, the sport's governing body, is now in discussion to have a new scoring system at the top level to benefit television coverage and make contests more attractive for viewers. The current scoring system has the winner being the first three is 21 points, 2 points clear of his opponent in a best-of-3 game format. One suggestion is to have 2 games of 21 each, with the decider, if needed, played for 11 points. Another format is 15 points for each game. A third suggestion is to play 5 games of 9 points each. The Badminton World Federation will open debate on the subject this weekend in New Delhi on the sidelines of the ongoing men's Thomas and Uber Cup Team Championships. From yesterday's action of that tournament in New Delhi, China's advanced into the quarterfinals. The Chinese men defeated Russia 5-0 to advance to in the Thomas Cup, while the women got past England to make it to the last 8 stage in the Uber Cup. In golf, Australian Adam Scott has officially replaced Tiger Woods as the world #1 golfer, ending the America's 60-week reign on the top of the rankings. 33-year-old Scott is the first Australian since Greg Norman to be the world #1. Norman spent 331 weeks in the position in the 1980s and 1990s. The 2013 Masters champion was inactive last week, but was already assured of taking top spot, as Woods has been sidelined with a long-standing back problem. Woods earlier said he still doesn't know when he's going to be able to return to competition.
Well, first of all, I'd love to play. But I just don't know. And as I said, that's one of the more frustrating things is there's no date, there's no timetable, just taking it day by day, and just focusing on just trying to get stronger and come back. And as I said, I want to play today, but that's just not going to happen. So just take it step by step.
Woods, of course, recently had back surgery. He has spent a total of 683 weeks as the world's best golfer during the course of his career, having already skipped a number of PGA Tour events. The American remains doubtful whether he'll be fit for the U.S. Open at Pinehurst. That gets underway on June 12th. It's 49 minutes past the hour, turning to our daily entertainment fix. Here's Alexander Okot.
So a real heavyweight has just premiere at the Cannes Film Festival. It's the film Deux Jours, Une Nuit, translated as 2 days, 1 night, of course. The film is from Belgian brothers Luc and Jean-Pierre Dardenne, who have already won the prestigious Palme d'Or twice, in 2002 with Rosetta and in 2005 with L'Enfant. Their latest work also marks the first time they've used a big name with Marion Cotillard in the main role, who won the Best Actress Oscar in 2008 with La Vie en Rose. Sounds like a winning combination to me. In Deux Jours, Une Nuit, Cotillard plays Sandra, who has 1 weekend to convince her colleagues to forego their bonuses so that she can keep her job.
Oui. Je suis repris mes idées, c'est pour ça, toi. C'est pour ça qu'il voulait les voir un par un,
Now, speaking on the red carpet, Marion Cotillard spoke a little about her method.
Travailler, même si ce mot encore est peut-être un peu vague. I try to work as much as possible in terms of going as deep as I can into my encounter with someone who is the character. To be able then to totally set aside the work aspect, to actually become that person and be able to give up my own identity. Once I'm on the set, if I've found the keys before then, I don't really have much to do. All I need to do is hand the car keys to that character, and the character drives me rather than the opposite. Qui va me conduire plutôt que l'inverse, en fait.
And Marion Cotillard, of course, we see her in horror films like The Dark Knight Rises and Deception, things like this, Public Enemies, but she still keeps her hand in European independent cinema and in these smaller films. And this looks very low budget. You know, I guess you haven't had the chance to actually see the video, but, you know, very low budget looking film, but very interesting all the same.
Well, I imagine, the one that she won the Oscar for, is that Europe or Hollywood?
It's the story of Edith Piaf, you know. Yeah, I know, and I think that was a Hollywood film, or a French film, but big budget at least.
Right, yeah, very Hollywood style then, yeah.
Yeah. And the awards for the Cannes Film Festival competition will be handed out, of course, on May the 24th. Now, Paul McCartney has had to cancel the rest of his tour in Japan after organisers said he contracted a suspected virus. A message on his official website said the doctors have ordered him to have complete rest, although he hates to let people down. This means the 71-year-old will not be able to play the remaining 2 gigs of his Out There Japan Tour 2014. The former Beatle is still scheduled to play 1 concert in Seoul, in South Korea, followed by 19 dates in the United States, however.
Of course, we've got to wish Sir Paul well. It must be disappointing for those Japanese fans. You don't know, how many more tours he has in him, or I wonder if there are makeup dates involved in this. Who knows? It seems like a big affair to go all the way back to Japan. 2 dates.
Yeah, indeed. We'll get well soon, Sir Paul.
I'm gonna buy some bags, only got $20 in my pocket.
Now, Macklemore has issued an apology for a costume he wore at a concert in Seattle that caused a storm online with allegations of anti-Semitism. The Grammy Award-winning rapper wore an oversized nose, cut wig and long beard while performing his song, Thrift Shop. Not surprisingly, Macklemore jumped on Twitter to defend himself against the accusations. He said, "A fake witch's nose, wig and beard is a random costume, not my idea of stereotype of anything." But one person getting involved was the Jewish actor Seth Rogen, who tweeted back, "Really? But if I told someone to put together an anti-Semitic Jew costume, they'd put that exact shopping list." Macklemore has since released another statement apologizing to anyone he may have offended, but maintains that the costume was randomly assembled and not intended to be anti-Jewish.
All right, it's 53 past, and that's it for this edition of the Beijing Hour. Quick recap of the headlines before we go. The Chinese president has made a call for unity, development, and coordination at the Conference on Interaction and Confidence-Building Measures in Asia. Conference happening in Shanghai. On behalf of the Beijing Hour staffers, this is Shane Bigham in Beijing. Hoping you'll join us for the next edition of the Beijing Hour to open a window to the world together.
CRI News Plus Radio. Email us at newsplus@cri.com.cn.